why unconscious people specifically bully you. Basically, this is why unconscious people strive in another direction than you. You are striving to the divine things, to higher things. You are about developing your higher self. You are about trying to get union with God, and this as a result and outcomes to have union with people also, with good people, with all people when you are developing your heart, when you are on this divine path. And so you are striving up, actually, you can say it with very easy words. And unconscious people, they are striving down. Why down? Because down, it means to the earth, to the ground, to the material world. You know this picture with Plato and Aristotle, where Plato is showing up to the heaven and Aristotle is showing down, and they are discussing, like Plato says the truth is there in heaven, and Aristotle says kind of like, no, we only trust what we see, and we can only see this material world, and that's why we can only observe and investigate the visible things. And so they are arguing with each other, but also we are arguing with the unconscious people in the same way in everyday life, because they are also striving down while we're striving up. Not, of course, all people are striving absolutely down, and not all people are striving absolutely up. Always there are millions of different shades of gray, not absolutely black, not absolutely white, not absolutely darkness, not absolutely light. The absolute light would be when you reach the enlightenment. So what the point for here is now that the unconscious people strive in the wrong direction, but on all levels. On the spiritual level, which is not visible, on a mental level, which is also not visible, but most of you know when they harm you in psychological ways, and on the physical level when really something bad happens. What's the reason why they are striving in the wrong direction? The first thing is, and the whole world is triggered by, is a lack of knowledge, called ignorance in English. It's actually a mistranslation. When someone doesn't recognize a person, that can also be called as ignorance. So in English, it's very limited and sometimes confusing. But ignorance in the sense of a lack of knowledge, a lack of kind of a higher knowledge. The point is that always we are learning things at school and in all education systems. The problem is that many things we learn there doesn't really bring us further and doesn't really have a sense for our life. Just a little calculation is okay, but see, the rest we learn at school it's not so important. And when we develop and when you know there is this inner thing and you are aware that you have something more than only the ego and the calculation, then you will see there is so much more. Why haven't we learned that at school? And that's the problem, that because the more one is unconscious, he still only believes what I have learned, this is the only truth, and they are not seeking for something. They are anti-seekers. They are feeling so much comfort in what they already have, and this is what they have learned from their knowledge, and then they believe the comfort is enough, and whenever the comfort is not enough, they let play their negative emotions to get more comfort. They are even can be very aggressive only to get more comfort, that other people can do that for them. So this is not a true life, because they are only behaving like a bad king or like a bad boss. They only want the benefits, but they fight for that with negative emotions, and one day nobody will serve them anymore. They will be sad, and when see they have so many needs, they are not fulfilled, and once they will be sad. And then what? Then they are very poor, because they will not reach their goals, because only they have the material goals. But when you have higher goals, these are to reach even without any need. Even you have to go in kind of anti-need, in kind of anti-will. You should even give up your thinking. You should give up everything. And then you can feel the divine bliss and the inner peace and all these positive things, which are actually just there because love actually is there around. Because that is what Bible actually says when it says that the Holy Spirit is everywhere, and you must consider this is kind of a spirit which is as big as the whole universe. And so the love is everywhere, but only we don't have the access when we are in the thinking, because the thinking is blocking the access to the love, which is actually everywhere. The highest positive energy is everywhere around, because spirit is everywhere. And the point is, we are only blocked by the ego, by thinking. And that is the main point. And the more unconscious one is, they are holding so much on their knowledge, on their wrong knowledge. They have a lack of a certain knowledge, which is about that higher things, but they have their knowledge of what they believe. It's more like beliefs. They have their whole belief systems and mindsets, how things have to be and how life works. And so they believe only how they behave is good. We have to make money, we have to make children. And then they follow their things, but still they are not far better than dogs. Because, sorry, because dogs also, if dogs could calculate, they would do the same with the money, or monkeys, but they can't calculate. That's the only difference between the unconscious people and the dogs. But the rest, like the baby thing, it's the same thing, because so that's why I say they are not far better than dogs. Mahatma Gandhi once stated, "Man must choose between the downward way and the upward way. But since the animal lives in him, he will rather than the downward path than the upward path, especially when this downward way tempts him with comforts. Man easily capitulates when sin comes to him in the guise of virtue." End quote. That means all the people since thousands of generations say that making babies is good, eating food is good, they are forgetting God. And from all the traditions in all countries, in all continents, everywhere, they say that making babies and eating food, and these are the normal ways of life. And there is not many other ways. But these are only ways animals do also. But what's the difference? What do we humans have more than animals? And this is essential. The difference is essential. What we have more, not what we have same as animals. But what then happens with the thing when they strive in the wrong direction, like dogs? The thing is, as I said, it happens on all levels, spiritual, mentally, and physically. Physically, it's obviously and the worst thing when someone harms another one. Psychologically, also, it's not nice when they harm you, when they treat you in bad ways, like bullying or so. But let's go on a spiritual level, because maybe it's a little more interesting for people here. As well as they, on the mental level, have different knowledge than you, and you also have most of the knowledge they have, because you have also joined this school, but they have not a certain knowledge about the higher things which you have from your religion, from your good attitudes, from your open-minded mindsets, and not from their limited mindsets. So they have this lack of knowledge on the mental level, but on the spiritual level, they also have a lack of a certain knowledge, you can say. But there, see, even the knowledge has some influence there, but there it looks different. There it is in form of energies, because they are with their mindsets driving down. They will have other energies. They will be more of negative energies, of negativity, of negative emotions. And you are of positivity. You are more in love. You are more in meditation, which is kind of a love practice, a true love, not what they believe what love is. You have the higher love. Also, I defer to several levels of love in another video. But the thing is, on the spiritual level, also, these energies are fighting with each other, even if it's not visible. When you enter the room, and the more people there are which are unconscious, and the more unconscious there are more of their energies, of their negativity. And when you come there, you will feel suddenly a lack of energy, because the energies mix up with each other and they are fighting. And when you have different energies than them, even you can be on a mental level and on a physical level very good with them, you are fine. Everyone is on the surface nice with each other, you and them, and everything is fine. But on a spiritual level, things happen, and their energies attack yours, because their ones are negative ones, and they bully your energies. And that's the problem, why you suddenly feel an energy loss. There is also a video about the energy loss. Example, they carry around anxieties with them. They are carrying around so many anxieties, different ones, because of the lack of knowledge. They don't even know why they are actually in this world. And they don't even know, when they are not knowing why they are living, then they are not knowing for what they are living, for what we are earning this money. They are only wanting more money, more money, more money, but they don't know why really. And when they have reached even billions of money, they are still poor in their mind, because they are then on their top of the mountain, but then they know, okay, the mind is still there, telling them all the time, blah, blah, blah. And okay, we have everything. I have seen so many rich people which were on their top of the mountain, and at the end they were saying, oh my God, now I have everything, but I'm still not happy. So what to do then? And then they got depression. That is the normal case. They got in life crisis or these things. And normal, when someone is not rich, midlife crisis, everyone has. So children are grown up, job, you are in the highest position, sometimes in between 40 and 50. So whenever everything is reached, they got the midlife crisis. But you have already done it earlier, the mental and spiritual midlife crisis or life crisis, because you have done it earlier, because you have the certain knowledge, and from the knowledge also you have development in your spirituality, and so you are already developed, you are on a very good path, and so actually you have overcome this life crisis earlier. It can still happen only physically, but on the other levels is already done. But as long as the unconscious people have no crisis and they still are in their normal mindsets, also this, to come back to the main topic, is that the problem is that they have so many anxieties for no reason. They don't even know the reason, because they are not brave enough. They are not brave to look what's in their psyche. They are not brave to go in meditation, because when the first times you go in meditation, all the negative things first appear, which are there already, which have led you all of your life, and they were influencing you all the time. All these unconscious people are so influenced by their negativity, and suddenly they start with meditation, and then, oh my God, meditation is such a silly thing, it's so negative. Yeah, it's only for them negative, because first these negative things appear, which are already there, but they are then suddenly visible through the meditation, and that's why they are so shocked. Oh my God, meditation is such a bad thing, I don't want to do this anymore. And so that's not good. So then they stop with meditation so fast. But most of them don't meditate and don't want to search for solutions for their problems, for their negativity. They always want to run away from that and to do an entanglement with even more business and more business. Always not to watch to the inside, always to go even more outside, more businesses, that they don't have to think about themselves and they don't have to feel what's inside of them. And so these things grow and these energies are there, and these are in most cases anxiety, guilt, and shameful things also. So they are carrying around so many negative emotions. And you have the opposite. You are almost never in anxieties, only when you get them from them. You are brave. You are not feeling guilty anymore, because, you know, for Christians, for example, Jesus made you free of guilt. For Hindus, Krishna made you free of guilt. So whenever these enlightened appeared, they said, I died that you are free from. So Jesus, for example, said he was dying that all the people, all the followers can feel free of guilt, because he was dying to save us. And the thing is that people are still in the guilt, then they are not really religious, they are just surface religious. And that is a very big difference. Many religious people are only on the surface, but they don't know even the deeper meaning of the symbols and of what's standing behind that religion, and what is all the meaning, what the enlightened had said. But what then happens, to come back to the main topic, what then happens on a spiritual level is that their energies attack yours, because, for example, you have the opposite. They have anxieties, you are brave. Their energies, they feel, hey, this person or this spirit there, why are they not of anxiety? We will try to mix it up and also cause anxieties to him. So they attack you on a spiritual level. Unconsciously, the people don't want to attack you. Maybe even they want to be very good and kind, but it can happen that their energies bully you, bully your energies. And that's why you feel the lack of energy. And then when this happens on a spiritual level, it can happen that it goes down on the other levels also. And suddenly the person bullies you or says something wrong, which you don't want to have, which he wished not to have said to you, but it just came from him because it happened first on a spiritual level, that something attacked and something mixed up and his energies are not agreeing with yours. And suddenly on a mental level, he's saying something wrong because his ego also is affected from the happenings on the spiritual level, and then the ego also reacts on that, and so that is why they then bully you. And the worst case, of course, is very, very unconscious people can even bully you and harm you physically because they don't know even better. They are just angry and they just want to destroy something or someone. But fortunately, nowadays it is not so much. Many people are developed, not with the higher knowledge. Still, they are having the lack of knowledge, the ignorance, but they are developed on the ethical level and they are not forcing too much and they are not harming on the physical level too much and too often. These things decline these days, fortunately, not like in Jesus' days when, you know, what has happened to Jesus. There was the cross, and this was the typical thing how they killed someone in that time, like an official state killing. But also Socrates, same thing. They gave him the poison to drink, what was in his culture, like a public dying, what they forced him to do, that he dies to drink the poison. But nowadays it's milder, and you can be glad that they had died for you, these divine person, and so that we now can have a better spiritual development, which is more protective. Still, there are only the abusements on the psychological level and on the spiritual level, and we have to fight there. And we can be thankful that we are not harmed on the physical level and can go for a further development only to develop spiritual, that we become stronger and stronger, that their energies can't harm us anymore, because that's the way how we fight. We don't fight back with attacking, we fight just in becoming spiritually stronger, that their energies just give up. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.